sitting down and Phoenix coming up to me and saying, "You should run for office. We haven't had a stable president in years." And that's what I did. I took that opportunity to run for office. I've had experience, as I've mentioned 100 times, in the Navy and my job doing exactly this, giving speeches to my bosses, working with people, etc. But I had never run a college club. And for me, that was a great opportunity. Not only did I learn from the people around me, but I made it my goal 3 years ago to improve whoever was in the club. That is why it took me 3 years to complete my Competent Communicator. For those of you that don't know what that means, it's the book, it's finishing all 10 speeches. Normally it should take someone about a year. If you're dedicated to it, it should take you about a year. We actually just had Kevin finish his last week. One of his best speeches I've seen online. Obviously I wasn't here. But we've grown so much as a club. And so although today we have our candidates, and although I will be leaving, they have that great opportunity to change or continue what we've accomplished over the last couple of years. And I ask you guys to treat them the same way you've treated me, with complete respect. The meeting times may change, maybe even the dates. Maybe no longer it's Fridays from 2 to 3 for those of you that can't make it. The policies, the way the structure of the meeting goes, that may all change. But work with them. Voice your opinion. That's why we're here today. We're here today to vote for who we think will lead this club either the same way it's been going or an entirely different approach. I'm by all means not perfect. There's a lot of things that I have not accomplished that I really wanted to accomplish. I'm going to get into that. I'm actually going to talk about 3 things I feel whoever is elected president, they should really consider for their agenda. Before I begin, let's talk about some of the successes of this club as we're in. In 3 years, we've tripled the size of the club. As I mentioned, we started out with 6 active members. We now have 18 paying members. We also have a lot of new attendance. We have people that come to the meetings that haven't paid yet, but they come because they've mentioned to me they enjoy being here. How many people really enjoy coming on a Friday to listen to other people speak? Not a lot. So the fact that we're really motivating young people especially to come out and enjoy our club, that's tremendous. And the fact that we've tripled in size tells me that although I'm not perfect, we're doing something right. Okay? What else have we accomplished? I mentioned Kevin, his Competent Communicator. Camille just joined the club 2 years ago, and now she's running for office. For president, she's looking to replace me. We got Danielle, who has not given a speech yet, and I continue to rag on her for that, but she's running for office. Millie just ran last week's meeting. She's a regular member who took that initiative to run a meeting. Jeff, running for office, another individual who I haven't ragged on, but hasn't given any speeches this semester, but I'm going to encourage them to give speeches, because that's the way you learn. Well, short story, last night I had to give a speech in my 472 class, which if you're ever looking for a non-technical elective that's an easy A, ENES 472 is the way to go. And I gave this speech, just a real basic Toastmaster speech talking about a product that I wanted to purchase. And afterwards, the professor comes to me and goes, "Wow, you're a great speaker, you're a natural." I looked at him and said, "I'm not a natural, I've practiced." That's the key to being a great speaker. I've practiced. My mom didn't just give birth to me and I come out singing and praising. I had to work towards it, just like everyone in here today. And I really wish Jonathan was here because I wanted to tease him on how he gives speeches, how he always sticks out his hands, and he always looks down, he's always like, yeah, military, he always gives speeches on the military. And that's what I want to do now. I want to rag on everyone in the audience. I want to tease people like Kevin who I'm going to miss that poetic speech that he always gives. I'm going to miss Danielle always standing up going, "Hey." She always does that. She always stands up. First thing she does is she smiles. Okay? I'm going to miss Camille leading the meetings, leading the Barracuda meetings, changing up the style. I like that. I think change is good for this club. Because change, although we might not like it first, it kind of grows on us. And if it doesn't grow on us, then that's your opportunity as a member or as an officer. Just speak up and let them know. Because regardless of who's elected today, they're not geniuses and they can't reach it. They can't. They have to learn from you guys. They have to know what works and they have to know what doesn't work. Okay? So let's talk about the 3 things that I feel can make this club better. And 3 things that really I didn't do as a president. Biggest one is advertising. One of the big initiatives this semester was I had Camille get 500 sheets of extremely bright paper. I'm talking vibrant orange, vibrant teal, because we want to grab people's attention as they're walking around the campus. But, like anything else in life, I was like, oh, I'll get to it on Monday, get to it on Friday, weeks. And then when I actually did go to the library, the one day, the printer was down. And I haven't been back since. So that, in my opinion, is the first thing that needs to happen next semester, whoever's elected, is to get those flyers out immediately. How else are people going to hear about the club? Think about it. Most of the people here today are from the language house. They're here from word of mouth. They're here because they saw a flyer last semester, not this semester, back in the spring when we had them up. That's how our audience is captured. But we can't capture them unless we're out there telling people about the club. And trust me, they may not want to be here, but it's benefiting them. I think everyone here can say that. At first you may think, oh, I'd rather be out with buddies and courts, or maybe I'm out having lunch with an old friend. But the more they come, the more they realize that this is preparing them for the future. And that's what you guys have to realize. School is fun, but the real world isn't like school. And I can tell you right now, this man can tell you that. He's a boss at his job. I can tell you that because I've led a few projects. You need to be able to communicate, regardless of your technical background. So the second thing I feel when you look at is getting our members to speak. You guys are in a public speaking club. You've got to get up here and speak. I know you're busy. I'm busy. I just told you one of my biggest failures as your president. Get up here and speak. You may not want to, and hell, it's going to be nervous. But make yourself do it. It's kind of like, the analogy I like to use is, I hate roller coasters. But when I grew up with a group of friends, I don't want to be the guy who's like, oh, you guys go get on it. I'm just going to sit here and circle and stone. Watching my friends ride around. I make myself get on that roller coaster every time, and I don't enjoy it. I really don't. I hate roller coasters. But they're fun, and every one of my friends loves them, so I suck it up, and I go. Just like you guys can do the same thing. You can suck it up, get up here and speak, and you're going to benefit yourself. I can guarantee you there's not one person sitting down that says, oh, I really wish I hadn't stood up there and spoke, because it's not helping me. You know, everyone's like, you sit down, you have that high, and you're like, wow, that felt great. Even if it didn't go well, you're just happy it's over with. So get up here and speak. Do that for me. I'm going to try to come to a few meetings next semester, and I really want to see people speak. Okay, I really want to see you guys take that initiative. And the last thing is we need to work on officer meetings. That is another failure on my part. As far as leadership is concerned, officers should be meeting up at least once a month. It doesn't have to be long, 10, 15 minutes. Maybe it's at Looney's. Maybe it's after one of our meetings that we have here on Fridays, just so everyone's on the same page. And I think there should be a schedule, because there were times where I'd say, hey, Camille, I need you to run this meeting, and then I forget to text Kevin, or vice versa. And if no one's on the same page, then it looks like either favoritism, it can look like, oh, well, we're not keeping you in the loop. It just doesn't seem fair, and it's not fair to the people that are paying. Okay? So those are my three things. I think if we can conquer those next semester, this club can double, which can be good for them. So with that being said, with further ado, I want to give our candidates the remainder of this time to give their speeches to convince you guys on why you should vote for them. Okay? And I want you to give them your full attention. I don't want any talking, I don't want any cell phone texting. I would like the full attention. Okay? And then we're going to vote, and then we're going to say our goodbyes, and the semester will be over. No more Toastmasters this year. You can go home and enjoy being with your families. With that being said, the way I'd like to do this is I'd like the Vice President of Memberships to run. We're going to have our last two speakers be Kevin and Camille, trying to convince you guys to run for, to choose them for president. So with that being said, I'd like to welcome